That doesn't make any sense. Let me try this again. What is up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Jessi's Journey, or if you're new here, hello, welcome. I'm so excited that you're here. Today is a very exciting video because I'm talking about one of my favorite countries, if not my most favorite country in the entire world, and that is Iceland. Now, about a year ago, I went on a backpacking trip around Iceland with two of my closest friends, Sarah and Logan. We did the Ring Road or Route 1, depending on where you're looking. They're called different things, but it's the same thing. And it was absolutely epic. I loved it. Now, unfortunately, back then I didn't have my YouTube channel and I didn't do videos, so I don't have any video clips of it, but I do want to share my experience, and I think like it's becoming more popular for people to want to go there, so I think these kind of videos that are informational are good. So yeah, these are my top 8 tips to survive backpacking through Iceland. I hope you enjoy it. If you do, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and yeah, let's get into the video. Number 1. Go in the off season. Now, I know it's tempting to go to Iceland in like June through August just because it's warmer, there's less weather variables, but also there's 24 hours of sunlight, which just sounds awful. Like, hello, who doesn't love to sleep? But yeah, I think one of the best times to go is either May or September. I personally went about mid-September, and it was just amazing. It wasn't too cold. It did get cold at night, but you know, we were camping, we had sleeping bags and warm clothes to bundle up in. But yeah, it wasn't too bad during the day. We were hiking, we were moving, so yeah, we never felt cold. Weather-wise, it didn't snow. Now, I know that can change every year, but it wasn't too bad. It was also prime time to see the northern lights. They started coming out, which just like blows my mind that I got to see the northern lights almost every night. They were just, I can't even put into words how stunning they were, and it was something I had always wanted to see in my lifetime. You're not going to see that over the summer, so go in the off season so you can get that. And also, Iceland's kind of expensive, so if you go then, prices are cheaper, there's less tourists, you get to experience the nature as it is without a bunch of people ruining your shot. So yeah, just go in the off season, best time to go. Number 2. Go camping. Now, I'm sure this doesn't surprise you, but I'm not the most outdoorsy person. Yes, I like a hike here and there. Yes, I like to camp every once in a while. But the idea of camping for 2 weeks straight in Iceland was kind of terrifying. My friend Logan that I was with, she is an avid camper, and my friend Sarah had never camped before, so we were kind of like a range of camping experience. But yeah, it was amazing. I honestly like getting to spend the night underneath the stars was just so amazing. Like, you feel so connected to nature in Iceland, but I mean, it just like makes it even better. And there's so many campgrounds. Basically what we did beforehand, we plotted out our route that we were going, the general cities we were going to be staying in, and we found usually like 2 to 3 campsites in every major city or close by to every major city that we were staying in. They were usually about €5 a night, which, like, I mean, come on, $5 a night to stay on a campground, like, that's insane. Like Airbnbs, hostels were minimum of going to be like 30 a night, and that's pushing it. And it's also hard to find, like, the further away from Reykjavik you go, it's harder to find Airbnbs and hostels just because it's Iceland. Like, you could drive for like hours and never see a house. So camping is the way to go. You can also freedom camp there, but I'm not quite sure about the regulations with that. However, we just found, we find a campground, pay $5 to set up our tent. Usually there was everything you needed. There was a kitchen station where you could cook, which was awesome. You got to meet fellow backpackers. There was usually Wi-Fi, there was showers. Yeah, so everything you would need was in this campground. It was just amazing. I could not recommend it more. It's 1000% part of the experience. You have to do it. Go camping. Number 3. Piggybacking off that last one, when it comes to camping equipment, rent your stuff there. Now, I can't think of the name off the top of my head of the equipment store that we rented from, but I'll put it on the screen now-ish if I can find it. But yeah, we found a place in Reykjavik where you could rent tents, sleeping bags, although we brought our own sleeping bags, sleeping mats, pots and pans, little gas stove so you could cook, anything you would need basically to go camping. You could get there, and it was really cheap. And so yeah, it was a lot easier for us to do that than get everything and try to fit it in our backpacks to get through TSA and carry on. It was just gonna be too complicated. So we rented a car, and then we also rented this equipment, stashed it up. It was super easy, super affordable, best way to go. Don't worry about packing all that crap when you can just get it there on the cheap and have an amazing time. Number 4, 4-wheel drive. Just get it. We did it. We wanted to save money. we almost died a couple times. Like, I know that sounds kind of extreme, but it's like 100% true. Like, the thing with Iceland is a lot of roads are marked. If you're staying on like the ring road, a lot of times it's going to be paved or gravel and it'll be fine. But if you're going off a little bit, which we did a couple times, we did like short detours to get us somewhere quicker, which also probably not advisable. I'm just a really bad navigator. But there were roads that they'd be marked as paved and then they'd go to gravel and then they'd be like dirt roads, but it would have rained the night before, so they were muddy. We almost got stuck. Like, just generally, I think it's better to spend a little bit more money to have a better car. We have like a little station wagon. I wonder if I can insert a picture of it from a day we got stuck in a mud pit. Like on the screen here, if I can figure that out. I'm not a pro editor, but if I can figure that out, I'll put it on the screen. But yeah, it was just a mess, and I think we would have had a lot more peace of mind if we would have just spent the extra couple of dollars to get four-wheel drive, and I highly recommend you do that as well. Number 5. Get to all quadrants of Iceland. Now, I think it's awesome that airlines these days are doing free stopover programs where you can basically just extend your layover for a couple days for no extra cost. But because of that, most people stay in like Reykjavik area and then go out and do day trips from there, which I mean, obviously is great. Go to Iceland if that's the only way you can get to Iceland, like do that. But I mean, there's just so much more that the city, or that, not the city, that the country, excuse me, has to offer. Some of my favorite parts were on the eastern side and the northern side, especially like even Akureyri, which is their second biggest city, which is up north, I think is 100% worth the visit. There's just so much in between that you miss. And yeah, I just think it's so important that if you're gonna do Iceland, and you're gonna do Iceland right, see everything that it has to offer. I mean, there's some of the most natural beauty. Like when we were up north, we got to go see whales, and we got to like chill in this like random hot spring. And instead of doing like the Blue Lagoon, which is like the main tourist thing that everybody does when they're in Reykjavik, which also is like man-made, so why would you go there? But we went up north and we were able to go in natural baths and just sit in basically like nature's hot tub and enjoy the like beautiful outdoors. There's just so much it has to offer, and I think it's so important for you to go out and see that, because Iceland is just this perfect, pure, unfiltered beauty. Like, it's really the way that nature was intended to be when it was created, and I think it's just so important that you go out and see it. And the longer you drive too, like the more insane things you see. Like, it was crazy to me that we could be driving and like 1 minute we would be by a glacier, then literally like 10 minutes later we'd be on a volcano, and then 10 minutes later we'd be in lava fields, and then 10 minutes later we'd be in a green field with ponies like galloping around. Like, it's just insane. Like, get out, see all Iceland has to offer. It's gonna be 1000% worth the extra time and the extra money. Number 6, the Lonely Planet Iceland guidebook. Now, honestly, I usually do not like guidebooks. Prior to this trip, I was like very anti-guidebook. I was like, I can figure this out on my own. I don't need a guidebook. It takes up space in your book. You have to like spend money on it. It's not worth it. But no, this book honestly saved our butts. First, if you're planning on backpacking Iceland, this is amazing because it has it broken up. First, Iceland as a whole, but then like each of the 4 quadrants, so north, south, east, west kind of thing. It has everything you want to see, all the like sites, the cities, the things you can do, tourist attractions, things to eat. We had like, when we were randomly driving like east to north, we had a recommendation in the book for the best ice cream in all of Iceland. So we went and we ate ice cream, which was kind of like to us funny because it was like cold outside and we were eating ice cream. But yeah, like stuff like that you just don't get on your own when you're going. It also had amazing detailed maps that would tell you if the road was paved, if the road was dirt, mud, whatever it might be, if it wasn't safe to drive in, stuff like that. So I could not recommend a book highly enough. I think it was amazing. It saved our butts so much. I think if you're doing this, you should have it in your arsenal as just a tool to have to keep you alive. Number 7, don't off-road unless you're a pro. Now, honestly, we did not listen to this advice a lot, and it was probably not that great. I will never forget the day. So we ended up leaving this campsite we were staying at really early, like probably around like 5 in the morning, just because none of us were sleeping well that night. It was like kind of rainy. There was a bit, not kind of rainy, there was a huge storm going on. We just wanted to get on the road and get to our next stop. So we left early. Sarah was asleep in the back of the car. Logan was driving and I was navigating. And we were looking at the map and I told her, I was like, it looks like there's this little shortcut off of the ring road, which everyone told us like, just do not go off the ring road. But yeah, we didn't listen. So I navigated us up this, and it was fine at first. Like, the map didn't say there was anything wrong with it. It was a two-way paved road. So we're going, it's two ways paved. All of a sudden, it turns into gravel. All of a sudden, it turns into dirt, turns into mud. It's still technically a two-way road, but then all of a sudden, you can only fit one car. And then before we knew it, we were like kind of dangling off this ledge, and they didn't have any of those like guardrails. And so we're driving along, dangling off this ledge, and the car literally goes from like straight to boom, like going straight up. Like, it was almost comical. Like, I picture it in like, what was the one with like the coyote that was always chasing the bird, Wile E. Coyote? How like he's running and then he like goes over a cliff and there's like the clouds and then he like drops, like kind of stuff like that. Like, we were going and then all of a sudden it was like boom, we're going straight up, and it was just super dangerous. Like, in hindsight, like, one of the dumbest things we did, but also like one of the coolest things. Like, we got to the top of this volcano that I navigated us up, and it looked like Machu Picchu. Like, it was amazing views. It was stunning, but honestly, not worth it for the views. Don't get yourself killed to get a good Instagram. Just stick to the main road, stick to what's safe, stick to what you know, unless you have a guide with you who is showing you which ways to go off-road. And number 8. Lastly, just take advantage of all the natural beauty that Iceland has to offer. Like I said before, Iceland is truly just, it's so pure, it's so perfect. It's the way you see it and you're like, this is what nature is supposed to be like. And it's just like, for me, personally, it really gave me this connection to the earth. It gave me a deeper connection to God because I could see his beauty, but I understand people don't believe in God, but I still think you can grow so much from the experience to just feel at one with the earth, which sounds like really hippy-dippy, I know, but it was just like, it was truly just like a life-changing trip. I felt so centered, I felt so grounded. All my anxieties and fears and stress that I had from the real world before I left just kind of dissipated, and it was an amazing, life-changing experience. Go out, take some pictures so you can get your Instagrams, then put the camera away and just connect with the world. Appreciate it, admire it, love it. It will change your life. Iceland has changed my life. It's changed many people's lives, and it's 1000% worth it to just cut off and enjoy the natural beauty. Alrighty guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, share it with your family, strangers, you know the drill. And as always, make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you get video updates in the future. But yeah, until next time guys,